Welcome to a new season of WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. On our first show of the school year, we'll speak with volleyball coach Bryan Snyder, field hockey captain Charlotte MacDonald, and football captain Randy Karlson. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington in Lee athletics. The football team shattered school and ODAC records with 649 rushing yards and a 63-35 win over Averett. WNL also set a new program mark with 712 yards of total offense. Women's soccer picked up a pair of wins in Maryland, downing Salisbury 4-2 and edging Stevenson 2-1. At the Catholic tournament, men's soccer tied Barry 0-0 and fell 3-0 to Stockton. Field hockey earned its first win of the year, defeating Wittenberg 3-1 in a neutral site contest at Sewanee. The cross-country teams opened up the season at Shippensburg, where the men came in fourth and the women placed fifth. And volleyball went 2-1 at the Maryville Invitational, falling to Birmingham Southern before rebounding to defeat Maryville and Covenant. I'm joined now by volleyball coach Bryan Snyder. Bryan, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jeremy. It's good to be here.
The Generals are 3-2 on the young season. How would you assess your team's performances so far?
A little bit up and down, as is to be expected early in the year. I think we've done some things very well and some other things we still need to work on. I think we've put ourselves in position to win all of those matches. We've had a lot of close sets, and we just haven't been able to make a couple plays when we needed to. In the ones that we lost, but the ones that we won, we were able to do that. So all in all, I think we're in a good position from a performance standpoint for only being a week into competition, but definitely some areas where we still need to improve.
Fourth-ranked Wittenberg is part of the field at the WNL Invitational this weekend. Later in September, two more top 10 teams, Emory and Christopher Newport, are coming to the Warner Center. Playing that kind of competition is not unusual for the Generals, but how exciting is it to have all those schools coming to Lexington?
Well, it's really exciting, I think, particularly for the players and the fans to have those teams here and see high-level volleyball. We're hoping that will generate a lot of excitement, get a lot of people in the stands, and that'll let them see just how competitive we are with those programs. Obviously, we're going to go out and have a game plan set to win, but even if we don't win, we want people to understand exactly what the top level of volleyball in Division III is, and to have three of those teams here for people to be able to see and watch us compete, I think will do wonders for our program from a recruiting standpoint and from a generating fan base standpoint. As a coach, it doesn't really matter to me where we play them. I actually prefer to play on the road. A little bit fewer distractions for me, but I think the opposite is true for the players. I think they like being at home. So this weekend will be exciting, and then in 2 weeks when we have Emory and CNU here, it'll be a big weekend for us as well.
WNL has a wide array of offensive weapons. Anna Lausberg just became the 10th player in program history with 1,000 kills. One of your middles, Mackenzie Shan, was among the nation's leaders in hitting percentage in 2014. You've got some other good hitters as well. How important is that depth to the Washington and Lee offense?
It's very important for us. We need to be varied on offense so that people can't load up their block against Anna or Mackenzie. So last year at the end of the year, that was sort of what we thought was our weakness, is we didn't have enough offensive options to spread the floor, and people knew where we were going with the ball, and those girls did a good job of scoring in those situations, but we need to keep the other team a little off balance with their blocks so that create easier opportunities for us. And the more players that we have offensively who can contribute, the better that is going to be for us. So so far this year we've probably had four fairly consistent offensive options, and we're kind of still looking for that fifth, but four is definitely better than where we were at the end of last year, and that is definitely helping our setters have a lot of options and keeping the block from loading up on our better hitters.
The ODAC seems to get stronger and deeper every season. What are your expectations for the conference schedule this fall?
Well, every match is going to be tough. It really has the last 3 or 4 years. There are no easy nights in the ODAC anymore, especially going on the road. I expect there to be, much like last year, 4, 5, 6 teams that really could beat any of the top teams any night, and I think seeding will be very close for the ODAC tournament, and it's going to come down to matchups and who's playing well those couple days in November. But really, I could see any of, like I said, probably up to 6 teams winning the ODAC tournament, and it wouldn't really surprise me.
Bryan, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this season.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy.
With me now is Charlotte MacDonald, senior field hockey captain from Bluemont, Virginia. Charlotte, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're one of just 3 seniors on a team with a new head coach, Gina Wills. How do you view your role as one of the captains this season?
I see my role as multifaceted. One of my primary responsibilities is the go-between between the players and coaches. Coach Wills has really given us a lot of responsibility this year, which I'm really excited about. But one of the biggest things is our goal is working for is having a very unified team, and that's what we're working for.
Last year was a breakout season for the Washington Lee offense. You scored a career-high 8 goals. What did the Generals need to do to continue that goal-scoring success this fall?
We need to continue being dynamic in the circle, creating a lot of opportunities for each other. Even if it's a lot of the off-ball momentum as well that I'm cutting and making hard runs for other teammates where I might not be the one that's scoring, but helping to create opportunities for them to score.
Your sister Lily is a sophomore and a first-year field hockey player at Washington Lee. What's it like to have her suiting up as one of your college teammates?
I'm really excited to have her out there. We always talk about creating a family atmosphere on our team, so it's really special, I guess, for me actually having my sister and getting to share this with her. We played together in high school, so I'm just really excited to see her out there again and share this season with her.
By the time ODAC play rolls around in early October, the Generals will be completely done with all the non-conference games. What are the goals for the first month of the season as you get ready for the ODAC?
So this year our team's motto is "and beyond" because we want to put in all of that extra work. Our sort of largest goal is to bring home a conference championship. And to do that, we really do need these non-conference games to help set us up. And the work we put in now is going to make us competitive in October for our ODAC games. So it's just all of the preparing, getting out in the field early, getting those extra touches is what's going to make us very competitive this season.
Charlotte, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck this fall.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Do what? You completely missed. Do you want Jeremy to say thank you for being here, like that? Or the last question? Alright, so we get the last question over again.
Just cut this one more time, if that's
Okay,
right.
so the whole, just whatever I said, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, anytime you're ready.
By the time ODAC play rolls around in early October, you'll be completely done with the non-conference schedule. What are the team's goals for the first month of the season as you get prepared for the ODAC?
Well, we're really excited. We have a very competitive non-conference schedule this year, and our team's motto this year is "and beyond." So we want to put in all that extra work, getting to the field early, getting work in. Playing these 70 minutes against these really competitive teams is going to build us, make us stronger, make us tougher. We're going to learn a lot, so it's going to make us very competitive to hopefully bring home a ODAC championship this year.
Charlotte, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this fall.
Yep, thanks for having me.
I'm joined now by Randy Karlson, senior football captain from Hudson, Massachusetts. Randy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Prior to Friday's opener against Averett, we'd heard from Coach Abel and some of your teammates about how good the preseason had been. Did you envision, though, putting together such a remarkable performance in week one?
I mean, obviously we want to go out week after week and play the best football that we can. And, I think we just came out this week and executed really well. We made some good plays, some big plays. And, I think that the numbers showed, but obviously there are a lot of things to work on. I mean, we had 3 turnovers in the red zone, so there are a lot of points that we left out in the field. So hopefully we can get better week after week.
Perhaps the most impressive thing about the numbers that the Generals put up last Friday is that only one player, Marshall Hollerith, had over 100 yards rushing. What does that say to you about the depth of the offensive backfield?
I mean, it says a lot. Obviously, in the option scheme, you're going to have a lot of running backs getting a lot of touches and hopefully for a lot of yards. So that's going to contribute to those sort of numbers. But we have a ton of people that have gotten a lot of experience over the past few years. Charlie's in his 2nd year as quarterback. Marshall's in his 3rd. And then we have a bunch of other people that are finally coming in their own in the offense, and I think that showed this past weekend.
Speaking of the Generals' experience, you had so many injuries last season that a lot of first years and sophomores got thrown into the fire, but got more playing time than they might have otherwise. Is that already paying off for WNL this year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can watch the game compared to any game from last year. We look, a lot more comfortable in our offense and our defense, and I think we're just playing much better football than we did last year, and that's due really to the experience that we gained last year.
How important are the next 2 games, including Sewanee this Saturday, as you get prepared for the ODAC schedule?
The next 2 games are huge. We need to, come out there and play some great football and hopefully build some confidence and get a few more wins under our belt before we go out and play Guilford in week 1 of ODAC play.
Randy, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck throughout the fall.
Thanks for having me.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. Volleyball will play host to the WNL Invitational starting Friday with matches against Averett and 4th-ranked Wittenberg. The cross-country teams have 2 events on the docket, traveling to Bridgewater for Friday's ODAC preview and then competing in the James Madison Invitational on Saturday. Also Saturday, volleyball faces Southern Virginia and then wraps up its invitational against Berry. Women's soccer has its own tournament on tap this weekend, beginning with a match against Emory. Football takes on Sewanee at Wilson Field, and men's soccer finishes out the day by facing Catholic. On Sunday, field hockey will play McDaniel at Bridgewater. Women's soccer is back in action against Meredith, and women's golf begins its fall schedule at St. Mary's. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.